about to play. Morocco will be flying off to Tunisia in the next couple of days. Uganda will not. They go head-to-head. Right now, this is how the table stands, but Morocco will definitely finish in the top two. It'll be a straight fight between the Central African Republic and Angola for the second slot, and Uganda are destined to finish in last place, win or lose here in this game. So I guess if I ask you, Ryan, looking at this game, Morocco, the key for them will be to get through it unscathed, you know, try and keep some of the good performances that we've seen from them and keep that running, but no injuries. Uganda looking for a bit of pride, go out on a win.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is just, it's a shame when you're watching this game and watching how Uganda will be playing in this. It actually will be interesting to see how they perform, because the entire, I think the best term you can sum up Uganda right now is what if. What if they had held on to that lead against Angola? What if they had came through in their second game where they just came up short as well? And really, this team is so not what it looks like at 0-2. They are so talented. They've shown a lot of heart. They were, as we said, we're up by as much as 20 over Angola in the opener, and they've given themselves chances and time and again to win these games. But you know, the positives that they can take from this tournament is that, one, they've ran with everybody they went up against. They've had a tough group to go up against, and now they still have Morocco they have to face right now, a team that's already punched their ticket and has defeated Angola. I don't expect Uganda to leave anything off the table right now. As far as Morocco goes, you hit the nail on the head. Really just don't get hurt, play a hard game, and also you're going to see some of their starters out there getting some work in, but they really at this point would prefer to just get ahead, stay ahead, hopefully give their bench a lot of time out there. I mean, their bench came off with 24 points in their last performance, so they do have a deep team in that sense, whereas Uganda is going to need some more support from their bench, because they've only been averaging about 13, 14 points from that bench throughout the first two games.
Well, two teams being introduced to the crowd here. First up is... well, actually, it doesn't look like... well, maybe it is. There's a couple of them there who don't quite look like they're going to be playing. Larouchi ran out, well, walked out very days ago. Before him, Soufrain Kouradou didn't look like he'd dressed for the game, so they might take an opportunity to rest one or two players in this game. El Maksoud looks good to go, and he's played really well, I think, in this tournament. And Morocco, well, they're already through, so there's smiles on their faces. Nothing can stop them from getting to the next round, and we're going to see Uganda introduced to the crowd now, and you touch on it there. What if? I mean, they led for 34 minutes and 39 seconds. You normally win a game if you lead for that long, but they somehow got beat in overtime by Angola in day one, and they'll just think, man, even if they'd just won that game and still dropped the second game yesterday, they'd be coming in here, it'd be a live ball game for them and a chance to get something on the board. But what they have got a chance to do here today, something they haven't done before, is win a group game here at Afrobasket. Their only previous victory in this competition, and to be fair, they've only been trying to qualify since 2009. They did qualify for the last one. They got one win. It was in the 15-16 classification game. So they haven't won a group stage game as yet. So that would be something to take out of it. But, you know, it shows you the fine margins in sport, that here is a team that could easily have been 3-0, given the nature of the games that they played, and could easily go home 0-3 instead.
Yeah, and it's really just a moment here for them to reflect and see what they can learn from this trip here in Dakar.
Yeah, well, we're about to pause for the national anthems for the two teams here of Uganda and Morocco. And first of all, as the people take to their feet, will be the national anthem of Morocco.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Morocco.
And now for the national anthem of Uganda.
Let's go.
Well, it's very much decision day here in Afrobasket 2017. Morocco made it decision day yesterday for their perspective because they managed to secure their qualification. Egypt have all but mathematically qualified from Group D. They still need the other game to be completed, and, well, not a massive shock. And Cameroon have won in Group C against Rwanda by 4, so they've punched their ticket to stay in Tunis for another week. And Nigeria, the defending champions, are in action. They need a win just to make sure that they get through. Here's our 3 officials for today, Mr. Avani, Mr. Hassan, and Mr. Mustafa. And they're calling 3 minutes to the teams to go out and have their final few warm-ups before we get things underway. And it'll be interesting with the pressure off to see if this game is a little bit more loose, a little bit more open, maybe more free scoring.
Yeah, definitely, Dan. It seems like, and both of these teams really do kind of thrive off of that fast-paced, up and down the floor kind of style of play. Now, Morocco kind of caught themselves a little bit out of characteristics last night, but there was it just kind of seemed like them and Angola were sliding all over the floor. Got to a point where it was a real importance on just focusing on your half-court game. It was much like the same way as watching a heavyweight title fight, is an analogy we were using a lot last night, of 2 fighters just kind of feeling themselves out. And it ended up being Morocco that made that pivotal push near the end, knocking down a couple of big threes. And Larici was one of those players that was a big factor in helping them out there, but also Najah. It'll be interesting to see how many minutes he gets. He's been leading the team in rebounds and in points, and if he does end up on the floor, it'll be important for Morocco to find him at that out on that elbow on both sides. He's been very comfortable shooting from there throughout this tournament. Meanwhile, if you're looking at Uganda, some of the things that they're going to have to focus, at the end of the day, they're going to want to come away with the win. There's no way that they feel like they should be coming in with the talent that they have to go 0-3 in this tournament in these group stages. There's just no possible way that they would want to go out like that. So it's going to be on guys like Opong to really pick up the pace. He's actually, in my opinion, been probably the best pure scorer we've seen in this tournament so far in any of the groups, just considering the fact that he's had the confidence to work behind screens, hit down jump shots, and he's been capable of doing it from everywhere on the floor. If you take a look at his shot charts in the last 2 games, he's been all over the place, finishing at the rim, hitting deep threes, and also knocking down shots in the mid-range with a hand in his face. So look to him to be a big reason for Uganda, if they do win this game, to for him to be a big offensive reason for that.
Well, he's certainly one to watch too there, Larici. He doesn't, I mean, he's got his shirt on underneath, but he's looking a little casual today. I'm wondering whether we're even going to see him on court now, having watched the warm-ups and the introductions. And, well, that's their right, that's their privilege for getting the job done early. They can rest players and make sure that everybody's fit and healthy, because it's been 3 games in 3 days. Teams will be hoping it's 3 games in 3 days next week, as well as the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals come back to back.
And Morocco is definitely going to be one of those teams that's going to need all of their starters fresh and ready to go. when they get to Tunisia. Really just one of these, and actually as well, of course, Uganda can't forget, they're going to be in tough against this squad. I mean, they have a very, very capable bench. Their bench is averaging about just under, just sitting at about 45% worth of their scoring in most of these games. So when you have that deep of a bench that's able to go out there and get the job done, they know what they need to do in this. And of course, above all else, don't expect them to walk through this, because those bench players are going to be looking for a reason for the coaching staff to put them on in those games that matter the most in the next round.
Well, he sent his starting five. Good smile on his face there, Coach Galanopoulos, as he sends his 5 out. It's the 5 you would expect: Anabu, Apong, a City, Pagis, all out there alongside Amani as well. And here comes the starting 5 for Coach Bouzid, making their way out onto court. Khalifi is there, so too is Benchlika, who only didn't play the first game, came on a little bit yesterday. He's in the starting lineup. Relimi's been coming off the bench in these games. Chua has started. He did start yesterday. Wilkins has been coming off the bench as well, but has been effective, certainly in the first game. He was very productive for the team. So it's a kind of mixed match here.
It is.
For the Moroccans.
Yeah, really, in the opening minutes here, I'm expecting to see a lot right now from Kalwani specifically, and or excuse me, not Kalwani. Just seeing a lot right now from Ben Shilka and also from Relimi. Those two are going to be 2 guys that I'm going to be keeping my eye on throughout this game to see just what exactly they get done in this group stage matchup.
Well, it's Morocco who wins the tip. Big Relimi uncontested, really. And they will get the first one. Here is Benchlika. And they leave Khalifi open for 3, so he says, I'll have that.
Yeah, you can see Morocco, they're full of confidence right now, and you can see Uganda is going to be in tough right now. Morocco's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves, especially whoever's out on the floor right now getting a chance, almost feeling like they could do no wrong.
Nubo there with a poor pass is well stolen, but only briefly by Khalifi. They didn't reset the shot clock. Oh, they have now. It was a bit of a late reset because he did pick the ball up and throw it forward. So.
Yep. Benjoka getting caught reaching in there. Although unfortunately you have to stay with the Pong every chance you get. He's got an incredible first step and a great quick release off the dribble. Even out there, he's deadly.
There's an Abu with the crossover, goes in. The City puts it on the floor. They've left Apong open at the top of the key. That's not a good idea. He doesn't make them pay. Pagis with the rebound, goes back up strong, and he converts for 2.
And Pagis, how important has he been in those 2 games in the group stages so far for Uganda? He's just always seemed to be at the right place at the right time and finishing strong every chance he gets.
Sure. Down to Orlimi. Shot clock getting low on the big man. He's trying to find some space, and there is none there. And away come Uganda on the break. Good strength from Mani. He threw it back. Oh, it bobbled through to Anabu, and here's a City from behind the arc. And somehow they get 3 on the board.
You got to be good to be lucky, and that's just a combination of both right there. When you run the floor and you keep the ball moving quickly and your teammates come back to help you, that's when you're going to see a little bit of good luck bounce their way for Uganda, and they're back on the board, taking the lead.
Wilkins is fouled by Stana City.
Dan, it really just seems like, to your point before this game, both of these teams seem like they're really loose and fast right now. Full confidence on the offensive end. Look at that shot right there, bouncing off a player. The importance of following your teammates on those fast breaks, because you never know.
Well, it's funny, when the pressure's off, the basket seems to grow a little bit, and the ball seems to get a bit smaller. And scoring comes more freely. Well, maybe not on that occasion for Chura, as the ball slipped out of his hands. And Anabu still has it, and Khalifi eventually knocks it away from him.
Not really too bad of a take there by Anabu. Lost it at the last second there, but when he regained it, he actually had some daylight there for the rim. Maybe should have tried to make maybe one more crossover to the left to finish.
Pong fires up for three. It's short.
And Apong, as great of a shooter as he is, you don't want to just force yourself into shots that you don't really need to take.
Benchlicker cannot convert on this occasion, but they still have it through Khalifi. And he lets fly. And there's a foul on the rebound.
And off that shot, Rolini, just look at how good he is. We've seen that a couple of times against Angola, how well he was able to legally move his body around those screens to the point where he was getting his guards wide open looks, even under the basket, doing it as well for some of his front court teammates.
Rolini going to work. Did he travel? Yeah, he did. A little stutter.
But you have to respect the team chemistry of Morocco here. They recognized how well he was able to isolate that, and they said, all right, big fella, here's the ball. Let's see what you can do with it. Unfortunately, too many steps.
Pong on the dribble. Up in the air, throws it away. Khalifi picks his dribble up a little early, so he passes it on and gets it back. Benchlicker down to Wilkins under pressure, and he's just kind of nudged out of bounds. He's trying to say he was shooting, but in the end he passed it because he was behind the backboard.
Yep. And that's all you can do back there. If you're taking a look here, Wilkins up. Yeah, that was definitely a pass.
And Rolini scores on the inbound. And we're tied at 5.
Good pace to start this game. Both teams trying to find it.
And Abu puts it on the floor, but he's from long range for 2 is good.
Not the shot you necessarily want to see if you're a coach and you're into the kind of the analytics of the game, but the Geese looked very comfortable when he let that one fly, so they'll take it.
Khalifi. Wilkins, he's almost just body screening both of them, and Khalifi takes full advantage of that.
And that just shows you right there, just the wherewithal. Oh, here we go.
Nabu through. Amani moves it on. Here's a City. He likes this shot at the top of the three-point line, and that's why.
Yeah, very big, just a big guy that knows how to knock it down. You never see him adjust his shot. It doesn't matter how close the defender is to him. We've seen him knock down some shots with hands literally touching his face, and what a finish there, though, at the rim. And that was by Kalfi.
He's certainly come alive here.
And he's taking advantage of his opportunities.
Oh, big block, but sure it's called for the foul.
Kalfi, an undersized guard there, as we're taking a look here. The foul, trip to the line. Chua, how important was he in that game against Angola in the final minutes? Getting some big rebounds, some big finishes. There it is. Gets the hand up and the foul. But here's a City one more time from the top of the key. He's been knocking that. It doesn't matter if there's been a hand literally touching his nose or if it's been wide open. He's been very consistent knocking that shot down.
Just slightly left from Stephen Amani.
A City at 37 years old, the vet. He's got to be feeling a little bit of heartbreak right now.
Good for 3 is Wilkins.
Wilkins, great awareness there on the step back as he was receiving the pass. Napong, he's now 0 for 3 out there.
Benchlicker bringing it back. Backs out. Goes round the screen. Drives in. Rolini from the elbow. Can't convert.
Rolini trying to do his best in the jaw impression there. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Amani drives underneath, forced to throw it out to the corner, and no way through for a Pong.
Rolini right there, and blocks it with his left hand too.
Good pass, and a nice finish from Chua.
My goodness, look at this. Kalfi doing a little bit of everything, knocking down big shots from outside. And here's the block by Rolini, gets it in with his left hand, and Opong. And then a nice pass at the other end, and Morocco off and running to start off this quarter.
Certainly are. Just past the midway point, a timeout has been called by Morocco. That's by Uganda, sorry. They trail by 15 points to 10. Well, coach, plenty to say in there. Try and get them defensively to slow this Moroccan team down a bit. Well, the best of international basketball coming at you from around the world, both here in Senegal, in Tunisia, in Turkey, wherever you like it. We got it covered. They've got a big game in Eurobasket about to start with Spain, who've looked so dominant in that competition in the group stages. Going up against Turkey in Istanbul, it'll be lively.
Absolutely. Speaking of lively, we're getting some of the crowd in here for the Senegal game coming right after this.
Well, that one should be pretty interesting, I think it's fair to say. His Pagis with 17 feet doesn't go down. Kelsey with the rebound brings it forward. Lobbed inside, but Relini can't pull it in. Pagis had something to do with that. Straight down the middle goes Amani, and the foul is called.
Not a bad decision, though. Amani trying to create something for himself right now. You've seen him attack the rim a couple of times here in the fast break, and of course one thing you like to see if you're the coaching staff from Morocco, you're not giving up any easy buckets. Now's not the time to be complacent. You still have a game to play here in the group stages, and it's always going to look a little bit better if you're coming into it 3-0. Give yourself maybe even a better draw depending on what happens elsewhere. So there is still something to play for at the end of the day here if you're Morocco.
First foul shot is good. This one to try and trim it down to 3. Well, he missed his first 2. Found his range now.
That's one thing that Uganda, another reason why you're just kind of so disappointed at the results they've had is because they have done a lot of the little things right. Very consistent from the free throw line, specifically in the early parts of the game. I mean, of course, they missed some pivotal ones near the end. But, you know, when you see these guys just always seem locked in and engaged to start off these games, you can't still help but wonder, what if?
Kalfi for another 3. And Mustafa Kalfi has really lit it up here in the early stages.
And Mustafa, the floor general of this team right now, getting it done. He wants some minutes, Dan.
Well, he's certainly shown he deserves some. There's a reply 3 at the other end. And that's knocked down by Ekong, who's just come into the game.
And that's the second time in as many games we've seen Ekong walk in and knock down those corner threes.
Well, Amy gets his man up in the air, and that's unsportsmanlike. He just grabbed him.
Yep.
Just unnecessary. Foul him, yeah, but you can't do that.
Yeah, unnecessary, but Pagis trying to send a message, it seems right now, to Relini saying, I'm not going to give you anything down there. You're going to have to earn it all at the line.
And in the old days, you used to be able to do that. We used to have no layup rules as we have a look at first the three-pointer and then the foul. But nowadays, it's not a smart move because it's 2 in possession.
Not much is true.
And to be fair, none of these guys were playing when you could foul like that. It's been a long time since those rules changed. So you can't plead ignorance or you hadn't got used to it or whatever.
I guess some players still believe in the intimidation factor for whatever it's worth, I guess.
No, it's worth somewhere between 2 and 5 points against right now.
Well said.
Wilkins back out. Benchlica for 3. And a City pulls in the rebound.
Yep, this is a very good game, though. We're watching back and forth battles here. Teams finding their open looks. Just got to knock them down, though.
Kaveri. Here he is again, opposite corner. Different result this time for a Kong.
Yeah, Kong, that's a shot he should have made. He had more than enough time. Ooh.
That was a tough one to catch for Chua. And they're back and forth, but the ball is loose. The City picks it up. Kong back out up top, and Kirby knocks down the 3.
And both teams, Kaveri right there, both teams looking very, very comfortable shooting that 3-point shot right now. We've already got 38 points on the board here in the first quarter between two teams.
No, we didn't have that at halftime in the last game, I don't think.
No, we didn't. 26-14.
It's a City from 3-point range. Long rebound bounces the way of Calfee. He drives in. Benchlica in the corner for the triple is no good.
It seems both teams are now starting to kind of get into a lull here of just settling for threes. We'll see if they switch that up now here for Uganda.
A little low on that one from Ekong.
Ekong's got to be able to use his left hand to finish that one. That would have been an easy layup. He had the size advantage.
Calfee cutting through is fouled by Cyrus Kaveri. But the teams have been looking at the 3-point shots whenever they're available, and they certainly have been available today. There's one from Ekong.
Ekong, one of the smaller, faster but bulkier guards we're seeing in this tournament. He's the kind of player that he does like to try and get into the paint, cut through, kick it back out to some of his teammates, but showing right there that he's got the range. He has to be respected. And him and Calfee are going at it right now, it seems.
First free throw is good. He's up to 12. And he makes them both.
Calfee's now coming off a job well done and a well-deserved rest here as he's getting some love from the Moroccan bench and coaching staff.
Well, 13 points for him. Uganda only have 18. The rest of his team only have 9.
Nice separation there.
And mine can't knock it down, and Morocco end up with the loose ball.
The jaw is in now for Morocco.
And he's going after the rebound, but he can't come up with it because Amon is there first. And there's another 3-pointer from Kaveri.
And Kaveri looking like he's been inspired by Calfee there on the other end. Starting to get some shots to knock down here.
Good hands to knock that loose, but Amani can't quite keep it in. Salam was trying to make the pass.
I don't know, Dan, if you can hear it slightly in the headphones. I'm hearing some slight chance of defense here. Seems like the Senegalese crowd is choosing to get behind Uganda in this one. They want to see them pull out a victory.
They didn't play much defense there, but fortunately, Benchlica couldn't convert.
Got away with almost a carry there.
So here again for 3. And that'll do it for a high-scoring, open, fast-paced first 10 minutes. It's been up and down, hasn't it?
It really has, and this is all you could have asked for from this game, is both teams really seem like they're feeling free and easy right now. And when we see the stats, I'm sure that's going to be a sign of it.
Well, it's 22-21, Morocco over Uganda at the end of the first. Plenty for the coaches to talk over, certainly at the defensive end. Let's take a look at some of the numbers in the game so far, and a lot of threes gone up, but a lot of them gone in. 9 of 20 between the two sides, both shooting in the mid-40s. The free throws have gone in as well. It's been open-paced, it's been free-flowing, and it's been fun to watch.
It really has, Dan, and when you consider the fact that even though Uganda only shooting 33% from inside the arc, they're doing a tremendous job of giving themselves second chances, and this is one of the benefits of having a high-paced offense. Even if you may not be necessarily feeling it offensively, you're giving yourself multiple chances over and over to finish at the rim and give yourself some good looks. And really, Uganda, as we said before, this is a team that has absolutely nothing to lose right now, and they should be playing this way. And it should be commended just how focused they came in coming out of this, because they could have easily came into this game and went, well, what's the point of anything right now? But they've came out and said, no, we still have something to prove here, and we want to make sure that everybody else is going to be looking out for us come next Afrobasket.
Well, there's been plenty of highlights here, particularly from the three-point line in the first quarter. Can they keep that pace up in the second quarter? And two teams making their way back out onto court, and we're ready to go. Second quarter underway here in Dakar in Senegal, the Marius Ndiaye Stadium. And Uganda with possession of the basketball, trying to get a score. Good flick back from Kaveri. Keep moving the ball, looking for the best option, but on that occasion they can't find it as Kalawani turns it over. And the three at the other end, as quick as you like, from Abu Salam.
Abu Salam making them pay for it on the transition, getting back there. Excellent defense, though, by Morocco, crowding the paint as one of the Ugandan ball handlers was going into the paint trying to find somebody.
Off the back of the ring from Kaveri, but it doesn't matter because the foul has been called on the rebound.
With that shot now, Morocco sitting at this three-pointer right here. They're now sitting 50% field goal percentage. You keep shooting the ball like that, it's very rarely you're ever going to lose a game.
Substitution delays the inbound. Kalawani sits down. Kaveri looking to lose his man. And that's come off for Guise last. It's going to be a Moroccan possession.
Just one. This is the second straight trip up the floor here where Uganda has came empty-handed. They don't want to try and let Morocco get ahead of steam here. We've seen just how deadly they can be when they get it working offensively.
Well, the pass towards Najjar is deflected away, and out all on his own for an easy finger roll is Ekong, who did the defensive work in the first place, but he seems to have hurt himself in the process.
Yeah, it has. It looks like there was a hand that got across him as he was receiving that pass. Let's take a look here. Yeah, you can see the hand hit him right in the face there.
He did well to finish the layup, given that.
Oh, he did, definitely. And you can just know, like, you know, you see the sweat on his face right now, just how much that can sting. It must have been something similar to a cut, or a cut itself, just around the eye. I think we've all had one of those at some point in our lives. When the sweat gets into it, it just stings so much.
Well, Big Rita Relima there you saw entering the fray once more. And here he is touching the basketball.
Ooh.
Nice. Oh, nice. Relima let that fly. Wilkins will. He can't convert it though.
Great ball movement by Morocco though. Oh, great D by Wilkins, my goodness. The awareness to sit still, take the contact. The Ugandan player just bounced right off of him.
Well, it'd be an end-line ball. I think coach got a technical warning there as well for Morocco. Little reach in from behind is spotted by the referee as Mohamed Abu Salam is pinged for the foul.
That's where it comes in here now, Uganda. 2 points in 2 minutes. See if they can get another bucket.
Pong trying to, and he'll get a chance from the free throw line as Abu Salam, I think, has been called for another one.
And one thing about Opong that we're seeing that makes him so deadly is that it doesn't matter where he is on the floor. He's in complete control of his own body. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He's very effective at getting his defenders in positions that he wants them to be in so that he can go to the basket. So other shots that may seem a little wild for other players, he looks in complete control, as you could see when he was going up and had his defender off balance. He was leaning in, but was able to keep his form and square to the basket to give himself a chance for a three-point opportunity. Didn't get it to fall, but he is also, to top it all off, one of the more consistent free throw shooters in this tournament.
Well, we didn't know if we were going to see Adalali Laurici, but he has made his way out onto court for the first time today, and Alfie was red hot in the first quarter, is back on.
This is going to be a very interesting combination in the backcourt here for Morocco. Two very fast, agile guards that know how to create their own shot. They've got some vision too.
Just reached Calvin. He never really had it under full control.
Yep. Excellent work there on defense, though. And of course, who is it? Who else but Opong that's able to reach out? Oh.
Well, you can't say he wasn't warned. And the whole bench is up. They're not happy. You need to be careful there. You don't end up getting yourself in more trouble.
I understand the competitive fire that Moroccan coaching staff has right now, but at the same time, you've already punched your ticket. Is it really worth? Or maybe it is in a way when you think about it. Just keeps your bench engaged, makes them say, hey, this game is just as serious as any other game. You got to take it as seriously in these moments. So even though it may not necessarily be a smart decision to pick up the technical foul, he still, to his credit, is showing his team that he cares just as much about this game as he did about as the Angola game last night.
I think he's saying it should have been a jump ball, but I'm not sure he's right. Well, the free throw is made, and Uganda are in the lead, and they have possession of the ball.
Nice break for them. Ooh, nice move.
That won't make him any happier, will it? No, but here's Kalfi.
That was almost Kobe-esque there.
Kalfi drives in, kicks it across. It was intended for Al Maqsood, and Najjar didn't realize he was behind him and got a hand on it.
A great move by Opong there, though. Here we go. See if he can do something again with it.
Well, he can do that.
Oh, unfortunate. Unfortunate for Abong. Now, will it be Morocco that can capitalize on this, give themselves the lead back?
Nice pass from Richie, and oh, it's not in though from Relimi with the hook. Apong on the pick and roll gives it back to Peggy. He's taking it to the hole. That's a well executed pick and roll play.
What a dribble and finish by Peggy, protecting the ball all the way through Relimi, up as high as he can to try and block it. But Peggy, nice little quick flick of the wrist and gives himself another 2 points.
Well, Richie thought about passing. Oh, nice to Relimi, and they're just whacking at him there. And I think it was Akella who gets the foul.
Richie looking like the Moroccan Pistol Pete Maravich out there. A couple of real dazzling passes. You just see just how creative he is. And here's Peggy right there. Look at that. Just full extension, takes the contact, and there's, look at the pass by Larici. That's just some beautiful basketball there, Dan.
I think kids out there need to Google that one or ask your dad. Pistol Pete Maravich.
Yeah, well, they need to learn.
Yeah.
They got to. Who else is going to teach the kids but us?
Yeah, indeed. Relimi can't make the first free throw.
Unfortunately, kids, basketball was not invented by Michael Jordan, so.
Who? He's old as well. He's in his 50s now, isn't he?
Oh, you know.
Here we go.
The guy that's on all of your sneakers?
Yeah. Here we go then. It's 28 to 26, 6.5 minutes to go. And the ball is loose. El Maksoud has it. Nice fast break. Larici back to El Maksoud, and he recycles it out. Larici's in the corner, desperate for it. Gets the behind the back pass. Now uses his foot speed, dumps off. And tipped up by Najjar. He's tipping it to himself. He was playing tennis either side of the basket there.
It looks like Morocco, they're having fun, but they're not scoring points right now. It's time to get a little bit more serious, start finishing these layups.
Well, I'm not sure Najjar would agree that was fun. He's still arguing with the referee about it.
I'll tell you one thing, it's fun to watch, but right now Uganda, they've been holding on to the lead for about a minute now. And Morocco's kind of stagnated on their offense a little bit here. They were up 25 to 21 at one point. And Uganda's just kind of quietly built a lead here. Mind you, it's still only one possession.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you go on a 7-2 run, at some point, someone's got to stand up and go, okay, it's time to start making some baskets.
The City has it, hands over. Ooh, it's almost lost, but just about hang on Ekong. And a slip there. And eventually Amoni turns it over. El Maksoud is pushing Amoni, trying to chase him back, and it's touched to Larici, and he gets fouled.
This Moroccan team, my goodness, how dangerous are they, Dan, in fast pace, or excuse me, in the fast break. There was a touch pass there, if we see the replay. Look at this, touch pass right to Larici from Kalfi. And if he'd gotten that one in, Kalfi would have gotten himself yet another assist.
Well, he's done a bit of everything today, hasn't he?
No, he really has. Larici here, a chance now to tie the game up for Morocco. Gets the first one to drop.
And the second. And we're level at 28 here as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. Well, I don't know if that was a whistle in the crowd or Did the table stop or something? I didn't. Maybe it was the shot clock isn't going.
The fact that these players can distinguish the difference between a whistle in the crowd and a whistle on the floor is amazing in itself to me, Dan. I mean, how often are you hearing them getting blown in celebration and movement from the crowd? And in a moment like this as well, where, you know, the crowd is still kind of warming itself up a little bit, getting ready for the big party that is the Senegalese game happening right after this one. So it's a little even more prevalent when you just hear a whistle randomly out in the crowd. And the fact that they can distinguish the difference between the two while they're still focusing on the game at hand is just a testament to the focus and drive and discipline of these players that are on the floor right now.
Well, there's definitely a technical issue because the coach, the referee, sorry, are at the table. I think it's the shot clock. The coaches, sorry, the teams head to their benches whilst this is being sorted out. Well, apart from Najjar, who's having a long conversation with the referee, big smile on his face while he does it.
Yep, Najjar, big factor here for this team. He's leading the team currently in rebounds, and there's Mustafa Khalifa. See some of the shots that he was making at the beginning. That was the very first shot of the game, mind you. That's how confident he was getting out of the gate with the ball fake. As soon as he's finding any open space, and he looks like he's been knocking it from just about anywhere. And here's another impressive fact about him. Just he knows, he's done his work, he's done his homework, he's watched the Ugandan games, because you can just tell by how much space he's giving himself behind that three-point line, and just setting up and knowing that this is the distance and space I'm going to need to get a clean look at the basket. Because one thing that Uganda has, as we're looking at their huddle here right now at this point, is that they have size everywhere. They've got size in the backcourt, they've got size in the front court, they've got length, they've got athleticism. It's another big reason why you and I were so disappointed at the fact that we're not going to get a chance to see how they would do against a team like a Senegal or a team like an Angola a little bit later on in the tournament, or even in Egypt for that matter. But really, when you see the kind of intellect that we're seeing from the Moroccan offense at this time, specifically from Kalfi, it's just, once again, you just see how well disciplined both of these teams are, and it's made for some very, very entertaining basketball so far.
Well, we seem to have fixed the problem, so we can get things back underway. Scores tied at 28, 5:42 left in the first half.
We got a good one here in Dakar.
Well, there's still some discussion with the bench, the assistant coaches of Morocco and the officials.
It's time to get this going. You've made your point.
A city. Nice pass, Amani cutting back door, but Najjar did enough to make it difficult for him, and El Maksoud is off and running, and Larici has it now. El Maksoud fakes the three.
The hero of Morocco right now.
Drives in strong, kicks it back out. Oh, Najjar threw it and then looked.
I think he thought Kanopoulos was a player on the wing there. For, as you saw, he kind of was looking in that direction when he threw it, and then he kind of altered at the last second. Good job by the coach, the Ugandan coach.
Gets himself a steal. Oh, good hand. Speaking of steals, Kalfi racing it back. He's tough to catch, but he can't make the layup.
Excellent chase down there, just enough to distract Kalfi.
Amani going hard to the hole.
Amani, we've seen a couple of moves from him now. A couple of takes to the basket, a couple of spot-up jumpers. And that's the thing about this Ugandan offense. Multiple players can do multiple things. That always helps.
Najjar in the low post. Oh, did well to get to the other side of the basket there, but couldn't find the spin off the backboard.
A lesser skilled big man wouldn't even think to try that move right there.
Oh, super block from Najjar. And the foul then called, a bit of a frustration one from Anabu after he got his shot blocked.
And Anabu, look at this. Thinks he has daylight. No, he doesn't. Now in the jaw, even taking one to the face right after. And he's excited.
Well, you know, you get everything from Najjar. He goes out there, plays hard, he rebounds hard, he referees the game while he's at it. He's always there ready to help the refs out. Trying to get him to call an unsportsmanlike on that one. It wasn't.
Yep.
And there's 4:16 to go. And Morocco trail by a couple. A timeout has been called.
As you see here, the Ugandan bench. All right, what now? We're still up by 2. Whereas Morocco have to be pleased with themselves with the stop that they just created there. But I'm sure that they're thinking to themselves, it's time to go on one of those runs. Let's not wait for the halftime buzzer. Let's see if we can create something now. This has been the flow of the game. Both teams very, very focused on this, which is all we could have hoped for in a game that really does not necessarily mean much to the standings. As you alluded to before pregame, Morocco, they're moving on no matter what. Uganda's going home no matter what. But both of these teams, they got a lot of pride on the line right now.
It just has a feel, doesn't it, that if it stays like this, and it has stayed like this for the opening 16 minutes where they're going a bit back and forth and one team has a bit of a lead, other team has a bit of a lead, that it'll come down to who wants to win in the last few minutes. And you would assume if it's still close and it does come down to that would be Uganda who just want to take a victory home with them, and they probably don't deserve to go home 0-3.
Nope. El Maksoud, great finish there.
Nabu brings it over the my mistake there. It was Kaviri bringing it forward, and Najjar with the big rebound, and he's under all sorts of pressure, but pressure of an illegal kind.
And Uganda, the 2 defenders there, that's appears to be Amani and Kaviri that were under the basket there. Excuse me, no, sorry, that's it was number 14, Ikong. They were all over Najjar down there. And once again, it's a foul, and it's not one that you really want.
It's 94 feet from the basket. You've got him trapped. Just stay straight up and see if you can throw the pass out. It's going to be difficult for him to throw the pass because he's under the basket, so he can't really get any elevation for fear of hitting the ring, maybe even the bottom of the backboard. So just stand straight up and don't give him a bailout call.
It's a very, very wise introspective there of you, Dan.
Thank you. 30 points apiece here, 3:42 to go in this Group B matchup in Afrobasket 2017. We know from this group that Morocco are going through to the next stage. We don't know who's joining them yet. Coming up at 8:30 p.m. local time, which is about 4 hours and 15 minutes from now, we will find out, or we'll begin to find out, who will join them, because Angola will take on the Central African Republic, and that one is a straight shootout. Winner goes on, loser goes out.
Yeah, that's going to be the one that I think, you know, all basketball enthusiasts are going to be looking forward to here in Dakar. Of course, the one that everyone is here for is the Senegal game, but, you know, one thing that we have to, given it, you know, we have to attest to is just the loyalty of some of these fans here at Afrobasket, because even after Senegal has left, there's still a considerable amount of people that have always stuck around for the last game, and it hasn't mattered who's been playing. There's a rebound by Najjar. He's going to try one more time. A big rejection there by a City.
And Richie comes up with the loose ball and converts. And Kaviri gets it back in the corner. Amani, a City.
There it is.
Oh, beautiful shot right up the top for 3.
Here, look at the three-point percentages here. Both teams shooting the ball extremely well. Morocco 42%, Uganda 50%, both 12 shots apiece. This is the best shooting performance we've seen in this tournament, without a doubt.
Again, it's funny, as I said, how the basket gets bigger when the pressure is lowered. Now, just to tip you off for that Senegal game, we mentioned the Angola Central African Republic is a straight shootout game. Senegal Mozambique is a straight shootout game too, if you like. If Senegal win, they go through undefeated. If Senegal Mozambique win by more than 22, then Egypt go out and Mozambique.
Nice Look at
pass. That. Oh, and it's blocked. Chased back by Benchlikat. And a chance to go back the other way. Najjar with the jump shot. No score, foul on the floor. Najjar pleading his case. But yeah, the point I was about to make, if Mozambique beat Senegal by 22, then Egypt go out and Mozambique go through. And here's the one for you. How would this be for the day? If Mozambique beats Senegal by 44 points, Senegal are out and both Mozambique and Egypt go through. You keep your eye on that one, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. But I mean, you're coming from a man from Leicester City. I can imagine that you've seen crazier things happen.
Well, no, I tell you what. I'd have taken Leicester winning the Premiership as a more likely scenario than Senegal losing to Mozambique by 44 on their own court.
Never say never. 5,000 to 1.
Yeah, indeed.
Those odds actually sound about right too,
yeah,
for that point of victory.
True, yeah.
Oh my goodness! But Al-Maqsood makes good on some free throws there, and it's Uganda now just leading by 1. And it seems like the offensive pace has kind of slowed down a little bit in the second quarter.
It does, yeah, it does. Yeah, in the beginning they were very free, very flowing. Everything was going in, the three-point shots, the attacking the basket. But whether it's the defense has stepped up a little bit or what, it was 22-21 at quarter time. So it's 10-12 here in 8 minutes of the second quarter.
And the Moroccan coaching staff
need to calm down.
Yeah.
Because if you get ejected from this game, you could be suspended for the first game or the knockout quarterfinal game next week. And there's just no need for that.
Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, at this point.
And actually, it's the coach who's sitting down at the minute, and the assistant coach who's up. But 3 technicals, no matter who they're on, and he's still the one that gets kicked out of the game. Halfie's shot is way overcooked. Those were going in the early stages.
Yeah, but he didn't have the separation he normally gets at the top of the key. In the corner there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to step back to.
Mane, he steps back for 3. Good offensive rebound. The ball is batted loose, and Wilkins knocks it down, and he's trying to claim that he didn't make the last contact with it.
Coaching staff doing the right thing here on the Moroccan side as the players were reacting incredibly aggressively towards the ref on that call. That coach just comes up and goes, boys, settle down. This isn't worth it.
Very for 3. And another triple from him, but still doesn't go in. Into the final 80 seconds of the first half we go. That's a hard foul as Al-Maqsood went to the basket.
You see Al-Maqsood, he's got such long arms there. As he attacks here. You kind of it's almost impossible to kind of properly time when to strip the ball off of him, because he can go in and out so quickly with that ball. He can extend and he can retract incredibly quickly when he goes to try and finish. He can also finish with either hand. This is a very athletic Moroccan team, and if there was anyone that could run with the Ugandans in this in an open floor, it really is this team.
Al-Maqsood draws iron on the first one, so Now he'll have to try and tie the game up with the second.
Al-Maqsood is also the really the one that put the dagger in the heart of Angola last night here in Dakar.
Well, he missed them both. It's 32-33. A City. Marnie drives in. It's not loose. And Al-Maqsood comes up with it. And they've stolen it right back. Amani. Kaviri batted up in the air. It comes all the way out to Kaviri. He's going to set his feet and let fly. And he makes the three.
There's Kaviri. You give yourself enough chances and enough shots, one of them's going to fall. And Kaviri, and what does he do though? Very wise decision. When he got the rebound, finds himself in one of his heat zones, one of the spots where he really likes to be on the floor to take that shot, sets himself up, has the time, excellent execution.
Benchika in the corner. His three-point is off the mark. He was probably put off a little bit by Kong.
Yeah, great challenge by Kong. We've talked about this every single time. Uganda, they have a lot of really good habits on defense. You never see a shot really go up without a hand at least being in the vicinity.
And that's going to be unsportsmanlike. He lost the ball to Kaviri, and then he didn't really make an effort to win it back. He made an effort to stop the fast break. Here's a look at his brighter moment, the three-point shot.
Yep. Despite the fact that he's given up a foul here.
He might give those 3 points back.
Which is always frustrating. I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes your brain's just not reacting quick enough to your body when you're in that situation, especially if you've been knocked off balance like Kaviri was, and just thinking to himself, well, I don't want to give up on the play, but as he's going to try and reach, all he's going to get is maybe some hand in a body, because as we said, he's off balance, and when that happens, even though the right thing to do in the moment is to kind of let it just go by you, you never want to do that, because basketball has never been the kind of game where it doesn't reward lackadaisical efforts in any sense of the matter.
Particularly 5 seconds from halftime, because you're going to go spend the next 15 minutes with coach as he tells you about why did you give up on that play. Now they've drawn up, they're going to draw up here a play in this timeout. There's 4.8 seconds to go in this first half. Morocco have a chance to potentially tie. Certainly cut it to 1 if they can run themselves a good 5-second play here.
And really at this point, I mean, the thing you kind of have to like about it though is the fact that you know how much time is left on the clock. So we're expecting not to see somebody dribble it down and not realize, oh, there's, you know, I thought there was 10 seconds left on the clock or something like that. So we still could be in for quite the treat here in the final 4 seconds of this half, and maybe a highlight reel shot going off.
Let's hope so. I don't think we've had a buzzer beater here, have we, these past 3 days?
No, we haven't. As a matter of fact, I think we've maybe had 1 or 2 shots get off.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of the time, people are just kind of forgetting how much time is left as they're looking at some of the highlights here. And really, it's been a 3-point contest in a sense between Uganda here and Morocco. And to your point, Dan, it just seems like now that the pressure's off both of these teams, now of course Morocco could still gain something from winning this game, but everyone's easy.
Oh, it was a good play, but Al-Maqsood dropped it. Can he get it off in time? No, he can't. Didn't have time for that. Kong down court. Well, it started out really bright, really energetic, this game. It was 22-21 at the end of the way the possession will be, which means that Morocco will start us off, and El Misbahi will have the job of inbounding it.
Now let's keep one thing in mind here, Dan, as well. Morocco, they are not passing this game up. We're seeing some of their top guys on the floor right now to start off this second half, and those guys have also been getting some considerable minutes. If we're looking at the stats over here. But here we go.
Here we go indeed. Larici has it. Round the high screen, on to Wilkins. Nice play. That is a perfectly drawn-up play. And it ends in 2 easy points.
Absolutely. And once again, as we said, Morocco is not letting this game go. They understand at this point that if they win this, they may have a bit of an easier road to get into the semifinals when they head to Tunisia.
Amani gets it onto a City. And it's a shot clock violation. Nobody, even I didn't pick that one up.
Well, that's some of the downside when teams kind of, I guess you could use the word lollygag a little bit when they're bringing the ball up the floor. Remember, you're only using a 24-second clock here. Got to get something going right away.
Chua drives in, kicks it to Wilkins. Wilkins rims out, and the ball ends up in Apong's hands.
Hear the drums from the Senegalese band starting to fire up.
And speaking of firing up, that shot let fly from Amani, but it doesn't go. Tough work down in the low post from Chua.
Chua, he's a real second half player, Dan. This we've seen him time and again in those third and fourth quarters pull up some big numbers for Morocco, especially in that game against Angola. And he also has the ability to block a few shots here and there. We've even seen him go up against some guys even bigger than himself and send it back as we're taking a look here. Chua, nice spin move to the baseline. Two defenders over him. Nice kiss off the glass. Second look at that, you just get a real appreciation for just how difficult that shot was to make.
Sideline ball, which Amani inbounds and gets back. There's Nabu from three-point land. It's good.
Great shot by Nabu. Did a fantastic job working around the screen. But one thing about this Ugandan squad on the perimeter, they do not panic. It does not matter if you close out on them or not. They have a good habit of finishing with the same form every time.
Well, there's been some drama in Group A. The champions, Nigeria, have been beaten by Cote d'Ivoire, which means that both those teams are 2-1. Mali, they've been beaten by Democratic Republic of Congo. Both those teams are 2-1. Mali play Cote d'Ivoire later with a chance to go 2-1. So they, if Mali were to win that game, they're going to have to get the calculators out in Group A and see how that one works out. We'll keep you posted on that as we go through the day, but Nigeria dropping a game there.
Gotta love tournament play, Dan.
Well, you do.
Anything can happen. I mean, we nearly had another upset of epic proportions here in Dakar with Uganda nearly pulling off the improbable over Angola, but Angola still ended up dropping a game to Morocco anyway. And now imagine if that had happened, then Angola would have been out.
Well, yeah.
And there's still a chance they might go out.
There's still a chance they might go out.
Imagine that if they went 0-3.
Larici, speaking of threes, knocks one down.
And Larici, a guy that we weren't expecting to see a lot of minutes in this game, has came out here in the second half, and after he's made some pretty passes, and that's the first, I believe that's the first three he's knocked down in this game so far. But the shooting percentages, if you just saw on the score there's a kick out. Larici knocks it down. But once again, both of these teams shooting the ball extremely well. Said before the break, this is probably the best shooting performance we've seen out of two teams in the matchup so far here in Dakar.
And that's a foul on Relimi.
Relimi's trying to plead ignorance, saying that all he got was the ball, but take a look here. Now he definitely also got some bicep, some shoulder. Getting the whole arm workout in there.
He is.
I guess I'd say deltoid then, wouldn't I?
If you want to be specific.
Oh, we said it before. We got to teach the kids.
Yeah.
But what a game we got here going on right now. Morocco up by 1. Uganda a chance to tie. And they do just that with number 11 for Uganda at the line. That is Samuel Kalwani.
He makes them both.
John now with the inbound to Larici.
And forward comes Larici. Hands it back to Najjar. Good work from Chua. He said second half he's come to life here, hasn't he?
He really has. And one thing you got to love, a sign of a veteran team was, well, coach, understand that, okay, if this guy's gotten a couple of shots in, he deserves to get another look.
The City shot doesn't go. It's batted all the way out to a Pong. Najjar knocks it loose. And he's always roughing, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Najjar, not just that, though, just extending his hand to the ref. He wanted a high five. It was a little kind of one of those weird, like, hand over the fist bump things. You gotta love the light attitude that Najjar has towards this, though.
The City for three, knocks it down. Uganda back in front.
There's a City. He's got to feel good about that one there. Missed a couple in the first half. Not his best offensive performance, but he's another one of these players that does an extremely good job of getting himself going in the second half after he's seen his looks.
Well, that's to nobody. Well, it's straight to Amani, but it wasn't an intended one. That's a push-off.
Oh, wow. And Najjar, it looked like the pass was meant for Najjar, and it seems Najjar is over there apologizing now to El Masbai, because he kind of put his hands down and let it go over. But it doesn't matter at this point, because the offensive foul by Amani has given Morocco a chance to retie this game or take the lead.
Now Richie coming around the screen, puts the ball on the floor. He almost doesn't need a screen. His first step is that good, and it's a good pass to find Wilkins. Najjar going after it. Chua right on cue, picks it up, but he comes up hobbling.
Uh-oh. And that's the thing you're most afraid of in these group stage games where you've already advanced.
Wilkins with the save. Who that touch last? It was off Marnie, was it? No, it came off Wilkins' leg.
Oh, it looks like, no, Morocco's going to get, no. It's Ugandan ball.
Yeah.
Referee saying it went off your knee last. The ball kind of like did a little bobble between the two players before it bounced out.
It was a tough one to see, but the referee on the baseline who made the final decision was certainly the closest to it.
Yep. For the most part, the officiating has been fantastic here in the car.
Apong draws the foul. Wilkins commits it.
And I have to be honest, you know, as a North American, getting an opportunity to come here to Dakar and see the international basketball here live in the way that it is, it's just, in all honesty, a much stricter game, but you can just see it forces players to really be, as there's a attempt at the basket there. These guys really have to be on their P's and Q's and stay disciplined, because it can cost your team greatly, as we've seen with some of the lower tier teams in this tournament. Discipline really is almost as much of a factor as skill.
Richie driving in. Ooh, gives the ref a big hug at the end of that. And it'll be, that's one way of getting a call, isn't it?
There it is, yeah. The referee from Egypt getting a lot of love here between Larici and Najjar. We're seeing a lot of that.
See if we see it all the way through on the replay. It keeps going, keeps going. Oh, it just cut away.
Here we go, though. Another free throw attempt from Larici. I think it's safe to say, Dan, he's probably the most dangerous guard in this group. Just the things that he can create off the dribble. And he's no slouch on defense either. You don't really ever see him making a bad decision or getting in foul trouble. And it's a real testament when you consider just how tough this group has been in this tournament.
Well, Morocco edged back in front by a point. And Larici not quite back on defense quickly enough, and a foul is called.
See the tape now hanging off Larici. Show he's working. And just as I say it, though, there's the foul. But he's saying he didn't do anything. But just because you're not reaching in doesn't mean you're not shoving somebody.
First one is no good. So Anabu has a chance to level the scores at 45. He's been very close all the way through this, but he doesn't take advantage of that chance.
I believe the biggest lead we've seen from either team is about 6 points.
It's been very close. Oh, through Najar's hands, he got it back.
It's twice now.
Foul on the floor. I think a City's going to be whistled for it.
Yeah, City getting called for a whistle there, and it seems Chuo's getting the... Yeah, it seems like he kind of got hit in the face there. Maybe a slight slip? I don't know.
You beat him on the first step. It's always going to be a defensive foul from that position.
Yep. Chuo now is retying his laces. You can see he was kind of hobbling a little bit earlier. Once again, it's just one of those situations now if you're a coaching staff, it's, okay, how many minutes do I want to give these guys compared to how many games do I want to win in the group stages? But at the same time, you can't afford to play scared. That's how you get hurt.
Although I bet you'd rather lose than go to overtime, which is not beyond the realms of possibility. Last thing you want is an extra 5. I know they've got a few days off now between now and Thursday is the quarterfinals, but they've got to travel to Tunisia and acclimatize and all of that sort of thing, get used to new surroundings, new court.
Very true. But I think, if anything, the teams that are going to be coming out of Dakar are actually going to have a considerable advantage as far as the endurance standpoint goes. These teams as a whole, the conditioning aspect.
Double dribble violation called, so Morocco get the ball back. You have to say, of the teams we've seen here, Senegal look the class of these two groups, don't they? They look like the best side we've seen and the most likely to make it all the way to the final in Tunis, but there's a lot of basketball to be played.
And that's for sure, and it doesn't seem like, and Morocco has shown time and again just how scrappy they are. I mean, you're just looking right now, this is a game, as we've said multiple times, that it's not the end of the world if they lose. They're still moving on, but mind you, it's just the mentality of this team is, it doesn't matter what we're playing, it doesn't matter who we're playing, it doesn't matter what the stakes are, as we take a look at the replay here. And there's going to be another foul on Larici, and I think...
No, it's an offensive push-off on...
Oh, there it is, yes, of course.
On Kaviri.
And, yeah, as you can see, he got his hand out there. But really, like, Morocco, they are not... They want these games. Doesn't matter what the situation is, they want to win.
Here's Larici. This bar he can't convert.
Oh, nice pass.
And that's an offensive foul as well. And it's Larici gets his body in the way once again, and James Okello drops the shoulder. And there's a big ooh in the crowd when that happened.
Well, if you're looking at the replay, though, he's inside the circle. But referee's still going to call it as he was pointing down.
Well, just while there's some moisture being wiped up on the floor, yeah, Morocco are able to make a substitution. You can see their big Ruda Lima back into the game.
And that's going to be a factor as this building gets a little bit more crowded. The humidity is going to take a factor here. See a lot of the fans fanning themselves off. But that goes back to my point where I think a lot of the teams coming out of this division are going to have an advantage in the that's a nice shot there by Najah. They're going to have an advantage in the endurance department. They're not going to be as easily fatigued in Tunisia.
Here's a Pong with the step back. 3 rattles out. And good work on the boards from James Okello, and he is fouled. See, just got in the right place. And well, Abu Salam was certainly not in the right place, and his arm was right in between Okello's, which is why Okello's going to the free throw line for 2.
And he's got to use that as a learning experience there, the importance of making sure your man is boxed out first before you go for the ball, or else in those situations, it doesn't matter how off balance you are and how unintentional the contact may be. The fact that he isn't boxed out and he has an opportunity to go for the ball is always going to put you at a disadvantage, and most likely going to get a foul call against you just because your body is moving, for that simple fact.
Somebody into the lane too soon, so we'll get another go at it. Assume it was Relima. Well, there's still not very much to choose between these two teams here in this matchup. It's been close throughout. It's just 4 points with 13 minutes or so to go. Najjar knocks it loose and does his best to try and convince the referee that he didn't see what he saw and he saw something different.
A lot of politicking over in this game right now. Everyone's trying to be the referee's friend.
Kello to the spin, throws it away. Kong, shot doesn't go, bats it up in the air. Bakis has it now. He's under all sorts of pressure.
He's not going to get that. That's going to be a spot they're going to need to wipe up. And they're on it.
Najjar, shot doesn't go. Here's Bakis with the head fake. He's blocked from behind by Relima. For the second play in a row, he ends up on his backside. Banked one in there, Apong.
And Apong shaking his head. He knows he didn't mean to do that, but I'm sure he'll take it regardless. And yeah, the referee's calling time here to clean up the floor because of Bakis falling twice there in just as many possessions.
Given the shooting night that Apong has had, any way they go in was a good way. He banged one in, but that's his first make of the game. Yeah, from the floor, he's hit some free throws.
Yep, and leading scorer averaging 19 points a game for Uganda, and yet even with him struggling, the score, they're still only down by 1. And once again, it just kind of comes back to what if Uganda was able to just kind of close out a couple of these games, because they certainly don't deserve to go home right now by the looks of things.
Well, they certainly don't deserve to go home 0-3, but that's a possibility at this moment. Lima just a little hesitant on that one.
Almost got away with a travel there.
Technical foul for a flop. Wilkins went down a little bit too easy.
Look at that, to see a replay here. The Moroccan players, and that's El Masavi, or Masbi, excuse me. El Masbahi still talking to the referees, trying to figure out what the problem was. But I think it was pretty obvious when you have a guy like Apong that's attacking the rim, not a small man, but you know, Wilkins considerably larger, to fall down as easily as he did. You can understand the referee's concern. Not able to make good on the free throw though.
No, so it's a sideline possession.
He's just gone ice cold in this game. All the more important that players like Kabiri and Nanabu have stepped up behind the arc.
No. Here is Nanabu behind the arc. That one doesn't drop, and Maksud brings it forward.
Maksud now running point.
Pulls up. He's getting his shot blocked. It was Apong, I think, got a hand to that.
Yep, as the ball goes out of bounds there. That's one thing about Maksud that he's going to have to kind of keep in mind. He's got a very low release point. That looked like a pretty good strip there,
Yeah,
actually,
Wilkins had a wry look there, and well, he might. Timeout is called. 58 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It's still a 1-point game, but there's a couple of free throws going to come the other side of this break. Final day of action here in Dakar. We're 3/4 of the way through the second game. Khalifi did his business early on to lead Morocco in scoring and assists. But, well, it started out so quickly, didn't it, this game?
Yeah, it definitely did. It was 40, just over 40 points in total from both teams, 22-21 after the first. But right now, with only a minute to go in the third, it's only 50-49, and this game has slowed down considerably, but no less entertaining. It's a tug of war right now.
It certainly has gone back and forth. And a chance for it to go back level, and then for Uganda to take the lead. And James Akello makes the first.
Akello here. Dan, dare I say it, this could be another one of those games where it'll come down. You know, of course, it's kind of the characteristics of a Moroccan game. It's whoever goes on that run now at this point may have the win.
Well, in the previous games, it's been them, Morocco. And in their previous games, it's not been Uganda. So just on cue, El Maksoud gives his team the lead again.
You can't afford to let him get hot, but unfortunately, the defender did everything he possibly could there. As there's a foul now called on Wilkins again, and Wilkins now starting to get visibly upset.
Well, he's got 3 in quick succession.
Yeah, he needs to take a step off.
As El Maksoud does the business at the other end for him. Wilkins has been hooked from the game. First free throw is good from Akello.
It's a great shot right there. Akello staying consistent from the free throw line here. He's 4 of 5. Hopefully I don't jinx him.
And you don't.
Once again, another characteristic of this Ugandan team. Very good at the free throw line. But we'll see if they can continue that and carry it into the fourth quarter here.
Just going to try and run some of this clock down. They're going to have to shoot before the end of the quarter, though, because of the shot clock. El Maksoud has to see the clock now. It's down to 3. Fires from miles out. Hits the ring. And, well, there's still a second or so, but not enough time for Uganda to go the other way. Well, we played 30 minutes here. We're still no nearer to knowing who might win this final game in Group B. It's Morocco 53, Uganda 52 at the end of the third quarter. Check out some of the numbers in this ball game, and Uganda's shooting from the floor pretty poor. 24% inside the arc, 34% outside the arc, and yet somehow they're still in the game.
Yeah, very much so, and a lot of that has to do with all of those threes that have been made. Just 30 of their 52 points that came off the outside shot. and also, more importantly, also just being consistent from the free throw line. So this is really going to come down to one of those situations here where Uganda, they've been in tough every single game that they've played. So can this be the one where they finally turn a corner and learn from past mistakes and close one out against a very tough Moroccan team that's going to be moving on? Whereas Morocco, they're no slouches and no strangers to these close games as well. They were able to pull away from Angola in that fourth quarter, especially in the final couple minutes. They've got some guys that are confident enough to step up and make those shots. And really, it's just going to come down to, as you said earlier, Dan, who's going to want to win it more by the end of this one. And as cliche as that sounds, it really is the fact that you've just been sitting back and watching this game for the first 30 minutes.
Well, 8 steals off 15 turnovers and 9 offensive rebounds is part of the reason that Uganda, despite not shooting the ball as well, have taken more shots. They've also been to the free throw line 19 times, although we've seen 20 Moroccan free throws. They're right about the same on percentages. 10 minutes to play. Morocco in the lead. Uganda with the ball. Game in the balance. Nabu inside, and there's Relimi just over the top there.
This is it again now. There's Uganda. Will they be the ones to go on this run first?
Skip cross court. Well, the defenders almost forgot he was there.
Oh, great
Kalwani.
decision. Fantastic decision.
He's not played very much. Maybe they went, he's number 11. We're not seeing him.
Well, his name's Kalwani, and I'm sure they know that now.
Yeah. Sure. A little baby hook. Not enough on it. Out of bounds, and it will stay with the Moroccans.
Really seen there that Chua was expecting more contact than what he received. Some very disciplined defense by Kalwani. So he's doing a little bit of everything here as he fakes the pass. Look at all that space he had there. Now, to Chua's defense, he had the box out ready to go for the shot, but he didn't realize that that was his man.
Relimi at the top of the key. His shot doesn't go, and Uganda with a chance to stretch their 1-point advantage. And Nabu, good pass, and there he is on the end of it once again. Well, they need to find where he is because they've lost him twice in a row now, Kalwani.
And the crowd showing their support and their love and appreciation for a throwdown. This crowd, they love their dunks, don't they, Dan?
They certainly do. Almost by, shot doesn't go. And out of bounds, and Uganda get possession back.
And you can see now guys jumping just a little bit higher for rebounds, closing out just a little bit quicker. Uganda, look at this find, my goodness. And you can kind of see it develop in the fast break as you saw Kalwani just kind of hit, basically hit the turbo button to receive the pass.
He's under all sorts of pressure, converts for 2.
How many times have we seen him do that in this tournament?
Sorry, you just get the feeling now that we said it earlier that actually, if it comes down to it and one team needs to make a run, would it be Uganda? Because, you know, it doesn't really matter to Morocco, and Uganda just want that win for pride to take home with them. And you get the feeling that this might be their run. How long can they ride it for? A pong. Anabu passes it up. Pugis goes hard and takes the foul from Relimi.
Excellent decision there by Anabu. He had the open look, and he has been able to knock it down before, but he's rewarding his big man for such an impressive finish at the rim in the previous possession, so he hands it off to him. And Pagai, he rewards his teammate for the good decision by getting himself to the line here, and to top it all off, gets one of the opponents in a bit of foul trouble there in Relimi.
Well, we're 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, and having seen Uganda open a 5-point lead and some free throws to come, Morocco have caught a timeout just to try and steady the flow here.
And Relimi, that's his 4th foul, mind you, too. So you couldn't have asked for a better development there on that play for Uganda.
You see Chua coming to life in the second half. It was believe in the first half. This is the foul trouble. Wilkins got those 3 in quick succession, so he's on 4.
That's a big reason why he's not out on the floor right now. Save him for a little bit near the end of the game. And it's really it's looking like it's gonna fall to Chua in the front court to really kind of stead the hand of Morocco here as they try and take the best that Uganda has to offer right now. But there's Kaviri and Anabu as well. 2 very big reasons why Uganda have been in this from start to finish, knocking down some huge shots for their team. But they're gonna have to be incredibly disciplined now on the open court, because Morocco, as we know, they love to run and gun, just like the Ugandans. This is going to come down to whose bench is deeper, really.
Well, this is an opportunity right now, isn't it? It could be a 7-point lead if these 2 go in. And that's big in the context of this game.
Absolutely. And here we go. And once again, we're seeing the same characteristics from Uganda. It's fourth quarter time, and and this is the first free throw. Runs are great, free throws are just as good.
Well, they were all in way too early. And it must have been a Moroccan who made the step first.
Yeah, Pagau's going to get a second chance here. He's got to just take a deep breath and remind himself, hey, we got nothing to lose right now. There's no reason I should be missing these. There it is.
59-53 Uganda lead. 8 minutes to play here. El Maksoud dancing his way to the hole for 2.
And make no mistake, as there's a stop here. What's going on?
I think it's one of those where people are deliberately not getting out of each other's way. And nobody got in El Maksoud's way.
We're just taking a look on the floor right now as there's a 2-2-1 full court press up right now. Morocco, they've put out relatively their starting lineup here. Even though Kalfi's not usually on the starting lineup, he's actually leading his team in scoring after that outburst in the first quarter. So they're not taking this lightly at all.
Good help from Chua, and they force the turnover. And Laurici takes it to the hole, and Chua went to dunk it in. He might have been wiser just to leave that and see if gravity might pull the ball in for him.
Look at this, Laurici. Look at the ball control. He's got a defender all over him.
No, it wasn't going in, was it?
No, but he was very pleased with himself. You could see, he didn't see it in the replay, but he was giving himself a little fist pump, because he knew that even though he probably didn't have much of a chance to get the layup there, he did get the call. He did create enough contact to get him to the line, and as a result, he's not going to give himself 2 free points without using any time on the clock.
No, he's not. He had the chance to, but he misses the first. He does cut the lead to only a score. Oh, that was a dangerous pass, and it's picked off by Chua, who goes up and jams it in.
And a big throw down there. And it all started, all the trouble began when Laurici was all over Kaviri at the line there and just not allowing him to get over the half court. And as he tried to throw it up in desperation, Chua was right there showing off that athleticism. And man, is he a gamer in the fourth quarter, Chua.
He sure is. And you rightly point out that's a bad place to pick the ball up, Kaviri, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But credit the defense a little bit as well. And suddenly, having looked like they might be getting away with it, only a minute ago, Uganda's lead is down to only 1.
Yep, and this is, I believe this is their final timeout. As
no, it's just the first.
Sorry,
Yeah, the other 2
I'm
were
looking at the wrong
Moroccans.
thing on the scoreboard there. Sorry. But yeah, there's Kaviri 9 points, but also with 4 fouls. So another thing that you can imagine he's thinking in his head, when he has Larici all over him is, I can't allow myself to get my arms out. Larici knows that, so he's kind of smothering him as much as he can without having to try and bump him. And it worked to perfection, that half-court trap.
Yeah, it sure did.
But Kaviri, he's going to have to be a little bit quicker than that, or more importantly, he might have to just kind of put his ego aside when he's facing up against Larici, because I'm sure that the both of them are kind of going at it and say, you know what, this is a better opportunity to pass it off. Let's just get it over the half-court line, and I'll deal with you later.
Well, here's this 2-2-1 press again.
See, they're letting them bring it up just a little bit. There's Anabu, though. Oh, great job there defending the ball.
And Amani takes over. City sets the screen. Amani drives in, gets both of them up in the air and then converts. Just a super head fake. Defenders were in buying mood. They both went up, and he went under them and finished for two, drew the foul.
You know, it's funny, if Najad actually just kind of laid off a little bit and allowed Ochoro to come in, he almost kind of set a pick for him by doing that. Of course, you want to help, but sometimes it really does go against your team. Because Ochoa, you have to recognize he's got the longer arms. He's a little bit more athletic. He has the ability to get up there and try and block it over top of him.
Larici brings it forward. There's 4 points, the deficit for Morocco. Healthy. Well, here's El Maksoud with a load of space. And I think there's a whistle. As Chua hit the deck.
See a replay of that if we can. Because it's not going to be a shot. It's still going to be a Moroccan ball.
Well, there's a little damp patch, obviously, where he hit the ground that needs sorting out first of all.
Yeah, these sweepers are working overtime right now. They've been working overtime this entire 3 days here in Dakar.
It's the hardest job here, isn't it?
It really is.
Grinding, and Najjar lays it in. It's down to two, folks. 6.5 minutes to go in this one.
Here we go. There's that Moroccan never say die attitude. Again, it just can't seem to get the space they need. And there's another bad turnover. And oh, wait.
Well, Marnie will sit down, but again, that was just a bit of exuberance, if you like, from Najjar, where he came out, he did the best he could. He's obviously not as quick, but he did the best he could and forced a mistake out of the guard. Healthy, El Maksoud. El Maksoud puts it on the floor. Oh, beautiful pass, and they love that here. And a great finish, but the pass made it all from El Maksoud.
How talented are the passers here on this team. There's a steal by Larici, keeping it in.
And El Maksoud is off in open court again, and he gets it to Khalifi, just keeps it in, Maksoud. And Larici says, well, we got time here, 14 seconds on the shot clock, let's use it.
Yep, tie game too.
It might not be if this goes. El Maksoud gets his own rebound, takes it in, lays it in, and Morocco are back in front, having looked in a bit of trouble just 2 minutes ago.
Look at this now, the press is still on, but it's broken. Uganda, they need a bucket here, and of course,
it's a backcourt violation.
Another mistake. Uganda just can't seem to catch a break in these fourth quarters, Dan.
Look at that, what a beautiful pass from El Maksoud, and then he decides he'll add to his scoring as well.
Uganda, you have nothing to lose. Calm it down.
If he can't convert the shot, and there's still a basket between them. The City trying to do something about that and succeeding. We're level at 64.
And really, this is, and honestly, it's playing out like we've seen time and again from Uganda. Any time that they seem to make a mistake, they find a way to fight back, and usually it's a City making the shot.
Najjar from 17 feet. Oh, it hit just about all of the ring, but it didn't go in.
Find a City. Give them the ball.
Or Apong.
There you go. And Apong, though, once again, what is the difference on that one there? Cuts in. He has all the time in the world, not a body around him, not a white jersey around him, and knocks it down. Doesn't matter if he's only made 2 shots today.
El Maksud, Chachua, Larici, drives, spins, up in the air. Maksud in the corner to give his team the lead again, not this time. And just a collision there. Slap of the floor from Apong in frustration, but the foul is going to be on Chua.
One thing we're looking at that replay there is we're seeing them fall down, but look at the back there. You see that red shirt, that red 11 right there for Uganda, Kalwani. That is the importance as well of going out and challenging these shots. There's 2 reasons. One, you're hoping at some point or some way that you can at least kind of get the shooter to flinch just a little bit on their release, which is something Uganda does a great job of closing out. But the second reason is, if that shot goes off and you have enough red shirts in the paint, and he's got a green light to go the whole way down and get himself a quick layup. It's just another one of those reasons why it's so important to always keep moving on defense, always challenging shots, and always trying to create your own luck.
Nabu brings it forward, and then Ekong draws the foul.
Ekong. Now we've got 3 white shirts around the referee trying to plead a case, but you know, I get working over the referees and everything, but it gets to a point where you're just, you know, let's just play the game. I mean, they've been calling these fouls pretty consistently. It's not like we took a replay here. It gets to a point where you have to kind of just know what they're going to call and what they're not.
Well, Joseph Ekong makes the first. This to make it a 2-possession game with 3:55 left on the clock. And that's what he does.
And there's some composure there shown from Uganda that we haven't seen in previous games in the final 5 minutes. Making both free throws, drawing fouls.
Well, Wilkins is back in the game. He's in foul trouble, remember, because of the clock doesn't run until he touches the ball, just so you know. Larici. Here is Wilkins. Oh, Kong slips. El Maksud to Najjar. No! Well, as soon as Kong slipped, the Moroccans looked to take great advantage of it. And, well, Najjar might still get 2 points, but he could have possibly had 3.
Yep. Once again, the floor playing a factor here. Ankles getting broken left and right at Afrobasket 2017. Najjar, I mean, he actually was able to drop a defender last night in the Angola game.
It's back down to 2. Got to get it over.
There it is.
Here's a City for a big shot for 3. Gets his own rebound.
Good decision. Slow it down. Here we go.
Nabu has it not loose. Chases it down to the corner. Apong. He tries his luck from distance. Wilkins will chase it down.
That was a shot in rhythm, but a pump fake would have left Larici in air with nowhere to go, and he could have went right to the basket there for a layup. Sometimes you just have to know. It's these little mental things cut in the final minutes of the game that can make such a big difference.
Larici cross court to Maksud. Maksud drives in, kicks it back out to Larici, who got caught by Apong.
They've been playing with fire with that challenge a lot. Apong, once again, yes, challenge the shot, but you don't need to go up and try and block it. You're almost never going to be able to, with even for a guy as athletic as Apong. He's not going to reach from the box to the three-point line while Larici is already winding up for a shot. It's just not going to happen. And as he came down, just lost his balance. Nothing he can do about it.
Well, Larici could give Morocco the lead here. cuts it to 1.
It's another thing we haven't really had a chance to talk about. Larici, just how calm and cool and collected he is. Just always seems to be gushing with confidence no matter what the situation.
Ooh. Well, they're a long way from Morocco, but he got a home court roll there. And he makes all 3, and Morocco are in the lead with less than 3 to play.
Uganda, once again, those little mistakes in the final 5 minutes always seem to be costing them. They always play such a great game. They play teams so tough. Here we go. One more press.
Well, it has been fruitful for them.
Almost got it.
And they do get it because Larici comes up with the steal. He's on his own. He doesn't need anybody else. He goes to the reverse lane and Morocco lead by 3.
This is Larici's game right now.
Everybody else is just walking through.
This kid is clutch.
And Nabu's shot doesn't go. Good timing of the rebound. Oh, Najjar with the block. Gives the finger wag.
A guy who's been so consistent finishing with contact. Najjar will have none of it that time.
Najjar at the elbow. Najjar doing it at both ends and letting the fans know about it.
Najjar winning that battle of the beards that time.
Well, suddenly a bit of great play from Larici. First the 3 free throws, then the spectacular reverse layup. Coming off the steal. He still had a lot to do. Look at that. Beautiful.
Oh God, just poetry in motion watching this guy play.
And then, after he comes up with 2 big plays, Najjar does likewise with a block shot. And then 2 points at the other end, forcing Uganda into a timeout. And now they trail by 5. This one's really swung back and forth, Ryan.
It really has. And once again, we're just looking at Morocco. They're just showing time and again in these games that they've got that 6th gear, if you will. They've got that ability to just step up in the biggest moments and make the most of any mistake that their opponents are making. And it's a beautiful combination of stubborn defense in the post this time around and just the craftiness of their guards and confidence that they have when they're going to the hoop. And Larici, I'm telling you right now, he's the smoothest finisher we've seen here in Dakar out of Group B and Group D with our own eyes. I think that's pretty prevalent right now. But Uganda, of course, time and again, they put themselves up, they give themselves an opportunity, but then a bad giveaway, a pass to nobody in the sidelines with about just under 4 minutes to go, a missed layup here, a missed layup there, coughing up the ball at the half-court trap, then a very easy pass there. Just too many mistakes in the final few minutes.
There's Nabu kicking it forward to Apong. You get the feeling they need a score here.
Well, this could be it for them.
The City. Oh, it's knocked loose and Larici has it. It's Najjar and Larici again. Larici goes up and he dunks it in. And he pounds the basket in celebration as Morocco lead by 7.
Nabu had to have laid out for that ball. The fact that he's sitting there watching that.
Pegues almost loses it, gets it back. Oh, it's thrown away! Najjar punches the air. The fans are on their feet. He's loving it. Big Ibrahim Najjar, first of all, Larici on the break. And then watch this one. He goes up once, he goes up twice, and he says no.
Najjar picking up the foul now, though.
I tell you what, it's right at the top of the apex, that, wasn't it, Najjar?
Oh, my goodness.
If that had been a split second later, it's a goaltend.
Perfect.
He just got a fingertip to it at the right and the very last moment he could.
All the momentum right now is for Morocco. This is...
Well, these are must-makes right here. These 2 have to go in.
Yep. And
7 down with 1:24 to go.
And this is a moment for Uganda right now. They've got to find a way now. Making the free throw. That's a start.
Well, he's 2 of 3 now from the line as a team. They're shooting 62%. but these have to go in. This one has to go in. Down 6, has to. Does.
Timeout for, I believe,
Morocco.
That's Morocco, and that is the final timeout now.
Oh no, on the scoreboard it's gone up as Uganda. I thought the referee pointed to the Moroccan end of the floor, and the reason it matters is because they've both got one free throw left. Well, you wouldn't call a timeout on the other team's possession, would you?
No.
So it must be a Moroccan timeout.
They're having a moment here now to understand that, you know, I mean, Uganda, once again, what can be said? They're finding ways to always keep themselves in these games, and it just always seems to be in the final 2 to 3 minutes where it's, you know, this is what it's all about, though. I mean, this is a young team.
Well, this is the difference. If Morocco hang on here, this is the difference between Morocco being 3-0 and Uganda being 0-3 is how you've played in the last 3 minutes, 4 minutes of every game.
Yep, absolutely. And then you say that, you know, Uganda, they don't deserve to be the record that they have, but if you're consistently giving up the game in the final few minutes, well, the narrative starts to change a little bit where you're sitting here going, well, you know, at some point you're going to have to get over the hill. At some point, you're going to have to start learning from your mistakes and realizing that, you know, this is the moment where you have to be even more focused and even more driven to finish the game than you have been in any of the first 38 minutes or 35 minutes, respectively, depending on which game of Uganda you've been watching in this tournament.
Well, it was a Ugandan timeout because it's a Moroccan ball from the end line. It would have advanced if it was a Moroccan timeout. Are they in foul mode? Yes, they are. Well, 1:21 to go, down 5.
And this isn't a bad decision, though.
I don't know. I might have left one more go at my defense.
And I'll be honest, in most situations, you'd be right. But I think given the history that Uganda has had in this tournament in the last 2 games and how they've just always seemed to find ways to cough it up in the final few minutes, I don't think their coaching staff specifically wants to take any more chances and say.
First trip to the line for the captain, El Masbahi. And he does a captain's job and puts it in. Again, they're shooting right around 60% as well, so they're not guaranteed at this stage, but if this one goes in, it becomes a 3-possession game.
One thing they have done well is make free throws near the end.
Oh, he doesn't there, and there was nobody from Morocco in there to inbound, and Nabu just caught Larici a little bit on his heels, and that's a really good outcome for Uganda because, number one, it's Larici's 4th foul. Number 2, you get 2 free throws, and number 3, you lost almost no time off the clock.
A very good turn of events for Uganda.
You need to make the free throws, though.
That's been the story of their tournament.
Nabu hasn't made one yet today. He's 0-3. He's 0-4. And Masbahi gets the rebound. And the problem is, because of that previous foul, they now drop off.
And at this point, Dan, I think you hit the nail on the head now. Just see if your defense can get a stop.
Well, as a 2-possession, 1 stop is all you need, but they don't get it. Najjar with the score. And there's a substitution which you'll see Kaviri back into the game.
Now you've got your 3-point shooters on the floor here. Asidi, Kaviri, Apong, and Nabu. All 4 of these guys can knock down a triple.
They could sure do with one now. The City.
Someone's got to move for him, though.
Begis has it not loose. Begis goes up strong, doesn't convert. And that will probably be that. 40 seconds to go. And the story of the group phase for Uganda is nearly but not quite.
Couldn't have said it any better. This is a team that has shown flashes of absolute brilliance, some stubborn defense, some excellent efforts. They got put up in a tough group, but Really, you're going to have to chalk this one up to a lack of experience from the majority of this group. The city specifically has got nothing to be ashamed of. He's made almost every big shot Uganda's ever needed to even just keep them in these games. Pagai as well. He's answered the call almost every time he's needed to be. Upon a very impressive offensive performances, unfortunately not in this one specifically.
Well, they've got to make a quick three just to have any, well, or turn it over. He's still alive. They have turned it over. Richie has it. Just got to watch his back and, well, might as well let that one go. It's 12 seconds left. You're not going to come back from 8 down. And Morocco came into it. You look at this group, and it was Morocco and Angola and Uganda and Central African Republic, and Morocco are the team who end up top of it, undefeated 3-0.
And you know what? You look at the skill that this team has shown, the clutch factor that this team has. This is a team that's feeling very, very confident going into the quarterfinals. And at this point, whoever they face is going to be in tough against them in Tunisia.
Oh, he almost got his own rebound there. And Najar lets him go past. It really doesn't matter now. Apong overcooks it, comes off of City's hands.
A very disappointing very disappointing outing for Apong.
And that'll do it as the campaign comes to an end for Uganda, but not for Morocco. They move on. They are undefeated. They are heading to Tunis. They have won this game by 79 points to 70, and they are into the quarterfinals.
What a performance by the winners of Group B. I mean, what else can we say? Everything that we've kind of touched